2020 holds big surprises for the Nintendo Switch, and one of them could be the release of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, or a new 3D Mario. Another clue is that the development for the DLCs for Breath of the Wild and the content update in Super Mario Odyssey ended around the same time, early in 2018.
This means that both Breath of the Wild 2 and the next big Mario title have been in development for around 2 years. Then, which one of these two projects under development will release this year? The answer may lay in sales numbers and Nintendo's system revision strategy. But before we get deep into the matter, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, plus press that shiny bell. Since the launch of the Nintendo Switch with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on March 3, 2017, every holiday season has consisted of big system seller game releases on the system. Super Mario Odyssey in 2017, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in 2018, and Pokemon Sword and Shield in 2019. All of these titles, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, have sold at least 15 million copies each by the beginning of 2020 and have been crucial to the great success of the Nintendo Switch. No doubt the launch of the Nintendo Switch Lite followed closely the simple but successful recipe of the Switch launch in 2017, namely that the launch of a new system requires a combination of games that can demonstrate the assets of the new system or model. In 2017, we saw the duality of docked and undocked, pushed with Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, ARMS, Splatoon 2, and Super Mario Odyssey. In 2019, the handheld-only Switch Lite launched alongside a series of handheld franchises brought back to console, but still primarily crafted for a handheld.
Good examples here are Super Mario Maker 2, Fire Emblem Three Houses, Link's Awakening Remake, Luigi's Mansion 3, Pokemon Sword and Shield, and the push to 2020 Animal Crossing New Horizons. In other words, after having a strategy focused on equal TV and handheld experiences in 2017, Smash in 2018 and handheld crafted experiences in 2019 and early 2020, that leaves us with hardcore graphics heavy experiences in the second half of 2020. And what better game to demonstrate a major leap in performance on the Switch Pro than an impressive sequel to a beloved first-party Nintendo Switch title? Say, Breath of the Wild 2.
Odyssey 2!
Yes indeed. Wait, what? Alright, this video is the premiere of a new debate series, and this first episode is a collab with Dr.Wily. So in the rest of this debate, I will argue for why Breath of the Wild 2 will come out this year, and Wily will argue why Super Mario Odyssey 2 will take that honor, despite not even being revealed at this point.
At the very least, I have recent history on my side. Since past 3D Mario games have been shown for the first time and then released within the next 12 months, you don't have to look further than Super Mario 3D World and Super Mario Odyssey to know that I'm right. Now do me a favor, try to name a single 3D Zelda game that was released a year after the first reveal.
Actually, Majora's Mask, the only other example of a 3D Zelda game until Breath of the Wild 2, which was a direct sequel and reused assets and the same art style found in the previous 3D Zelda title on the same system. Besides, this continuation of the Hero of the Wilds and Zelda of the Wilds Adventure has technically been in the works even prior to the game's release. Remember, the 2 DLC pack expansion pass was decided before the announcement by series producer AJ Numa in mid-February 2017. It was between this reveal and E3 2017 that the Zelda team decided to drop having a DLC pack free with Ganondorf and rather turn it into a proper direct sequel, with the same art style, Link and Zelda, Hyrule, NPCs, and only add to it new characters like Ganondorf, new story, new territory, and hopefully dungeons which were missing in the original. In other words, this sequel might have been planned out and has technically been in development for 3 years already. Your move, Wily, and Super Mario Odyssey 2.
I'll give you that, but you can't deny that 3D Zelda games are notoriously prone to getting delayed. Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, and most importantly Breath of the Wild. All of them got a delay and were greatly overhauled prior to release. In fact, there's little to no guarantee that a game revealed as now in development will come out next year. Super Mario Odyssey 2, on the other hand, does not have the same issue, as Mario games, much like Smash, can easily be revealed and released in the same year. Besides, not counting Nintendo 64's delay from 1995 to 1996, not a single 3D Mario game has been delayed, as the Mario team is careful with revealing their games too soon. Need examples? No problem. Super Mario Galaxy was revealed at E3 2006 and launched in 2007. Super Mario Galaxy 2 was revealed at E3 2009 and launched in 2010. Super Mario 3D World was revealed at E3 2013 and was out in November the same year. Actually, there's one more thing we need to bring up, and that's the question of development time of Super Mario Odyssey 2. As we all know, Super Mario Odyssey came out on October 27th, but unlike Breath of the Wild, it had no big DLC packs, which delayed development of a sequel. Yes, we had Luigi's Balloon World, but that was a minigame which was part of a generous free update containing this mode, 3 new outfits, and some snapshot mode filters. Not a massive paid expansion pass with multiple DLC packs. The only thing Nintendo had to do for this update was showcase it for a minute in their January 2018 Nintendo Direct Mini, and then launch it on February 21st the same year. Since then, there have been no updates to the game, and we've seen no updates from the 3D Mario team, which means that they are busy working on their next project. And similarly to Breath of the Wild 2, this title could already be 2 years in development. If this is Mario Odyssey 2, which reuses most of the assets of Super Mario Odyssey 1, then believe me, we could be very close to release. Why? Simple. It took 3 years to develop 2010 Super Mario Galaxy 2 after 2007 Super Mario Galaxy 1. 2 of the most ambitious Mario games ever made.
You got a point there. 3D Zelda games often get delayed, but they get delayed for specific reasons. Twilight Princess due to the Wii, and Breath of the Wild due to direction changes, struggles with the complicated physics engine, and finally, the Nintendo Switch. In the case of the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, none of these problems exist, as this is a mid-gen Zelda game that cannot be delayed by a successor system. The physics engine which caused delayed is being reused and only has to be adapted to additional new areas, not an entirely new massive open world. And unlike Super Mario Odyssey 2, which will need to add new kingdoms, the Zelda team has already confirmed that their game will reuse the open world of Hyrule from Breath of the Wild. By removing these 2 hurdles, the only things needed are additional cutscenes, some NPCs, new enemies, temples, dungeons, bosses, side quests, music, and perhaps 1 or 2 new areas to explore. One of them, the underground world, is more than likely to be linear and not require the same amount of development time as the open-ended provinces found in Breath of the Wild. I'm also glad you brought up Super Mario Galaxy 2, as that game needed 3 years of development, while Majora's Mask, which had an entirely new game world, required a little over a year. Right, it was a bet that greatly drained Eiji Aonuma, but if Breath of the Wild 2 started development at the end of 2017, 3 years of development should be enough to deliver an experience that surpasses Breath of the Wild in 2020.
2020 you say, Conrad? But what else is coming in 2020? Super Nintendo World, where Mario is the big star. And what better way to cross-promote than revealing and launching Super Mario Odyssey 2 the same year as Super Nintendo World opens? Heck, why not even turn Super Nintendo World into one of the new kingdoms in the game? That's next level marketing right there. Give people a taste of the theme park by collecting moons, coins, and purple coins in-game, and then get the kids to tell mommy and daddy to take them to Super Nintendo World. The Japanese market has always been crucial to Nintendo, as it's a conservative Kyoto company, with a love to challenge conventions and innovate. But back to my argument. Super Mario Odyssey 2 needs new kingdoms, but it isn't a problem as Super Mario Odyssey was a much smaller game than Breath of the Wild content-wise. And even if the game will have more kingdoms than Odyssey, then it shouldn't impact development time as the assets from Odyssey can easily be reused. The only things needed besides new kingdoms are new capturable enemies, puzzles, and new bosses. Overall, a simpler game to develop than Breath of the Wild 2.
Super Nintendo World is important in Japan. But do you know what could be even more important this year globally? Normally, I would say the Switch Pro, but it looks like it isn't coming at least until 2021. Instead, we're getting the sleek Animal Crossing system. No matter what, we need a system seller this holiday season that can stand up to the next-gen mature systems, launching with titles such as Halo Infinite. And which game do you want to showcase in this situation? A Mario title or a Zelda title which breaks conventions and elevates gaming to a whole new level? The answer is simple: The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, which will bring Nintendo gaming even beyond the Breath of the Wild benchmark and also bring it into a darker direction that will appeal to a more adult demographic. With 2019 and the first half of 2020 for lighthearted and child-centered experiences. In its second half, however, we need more teen and mature experiences that can expand the player and Switch owner base even further. On top of that, it hurt Breath of the Wild that the Switch version was not nothing but an enhanced port of the Wii U version, and thus could not take full advantage of the Nintendo Switch hardware. Thus, it similarly to the Wii U version failed to do 30 frames per second in densely forested areas like Korok Forest. In contrast, Super Mario Odyssey was developed with the Switch in mind and thus easily hit the 1080p 60 frames per second benchmark. What better way to show the actual strength of the Switch than giving us Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 in 1080p and with a stable 30 frames per second in these and other dense areas, docked, and 720p with stable 30 frames per second undocked.
That's enough out of both of you. But indeed there are many arguments for a Breath of the Wild 2 or Super Mario Odyssey 2 launch in 2020, or who knows, why not both of them? But you know, what we want is for you to continue that discussion in the comments section below. And before you head there, make sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to Commonwealth Realm and Dr.Wily, and press that shiny notification bell. A big thanks goes to all of our patrons, and we hope you can join them on patreon.com/commonrealm, or by pressing the join button here on YouTube. Finally, make sure to not miss out on Dr. Wily's videos on his channel, and we'll see you all next time for a new round of our new series, Gaming Debates. Until then, have a great day everyone.